Welcome to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going, everybody? We got Coriander, we got Killian, we got special guest Marty. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Doing good.
Good.
How are
you?
How you doing?
Hanging in there, man. We're going to be talking about Predator 2. I mean, we're on this Predator series, so I'm hyped up. You guys are hyped up. We got our special guest, which, thank you so much, Marty, for being here and also being, a big
Thanks,
supporter.
man, for having us. It's awesome to be on here.
Hey man, you've always been cool and supported the channel so much, especially on social media. So we really appreciate it. So for you guys that are watching in the chat or the replay, sit back, relax. We're going to be talking about Predator 2, starring my man, Danny Glover. You know what time it is. All right. Okay, man. So we're talking about Predator 2 from 1990, the sequel, one of the greatest action movies of all time. We got a couple people in the chat. We got Arthur. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Hello. Hey.
Yeah. He says, there he is, Marty. You gotta love Arthur. So, all right, man. So obviously we know the story. This was the sequel to the great movie starring Danny Glover, had a great cast of actors in it. So I'll just kind of start off by throwing it at you guys. Hey, we got Balin the Hobbits in the house too. What's up, man? What's up?
Hey, Balin.
Hello.
But for you guys, and I know Coriander, we were talking about this yesterday, rewatching it to kind of get reintroduced to this world.
Well, this is the first time I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
I
thought you saw it back in the day.
No, this was the first time I've seen it.
So, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, were there any particular thoughts when you watched it? That's actually really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I liked how, you saw the Predator more and you could see him in his original form.
Right.
I thought that was good. And I didn't, I thought in the city, it wasn't that bad. It worked, it for part 2 or, how it was pretty good. I was surprised. So
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Right. And it also had
a great fight scene at the end, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. And of course it had one of your favorite actors, the late great Bill Paxton. So I know you must have enjoyed that.
Definitely. Yeah, I was surprised when he was in that. I was like, what? Yeah, it made the movie that much better. Until he got killed, then it was like, oh, what the hell? So, shit. I don't spoilers. Oops.
No. Movie. I don't think anyone would be too worried. Hey, Kara.
Oh, hey, we've got horror retrospective. What's going on, Kara? That's awesome. Seeing you here. Awesome.
How you in the chat?
Yeah, Trenchy too, man. You guys are all right. But what about you, Killian? I mean, I know now this is a movie, back in the day when we were coming up, growing up, we obviously loved the original Predator. And when this one came out, we knew Arnold wasn't going to be in it. And but hey, Danny Glover did a great job. But what did you think of it as far as comparing the two?
Well, man, see that's a tough one because Arnold leaves such a huge shadow, because I mean it's Arnold and that charisma, that he has. But this movie is a little different, whereas it's the urban jungle. So it's like I try not to compare them because Danny Glover, I think he did a really good job in this whole cast. Him, María, Conchita, Alonso, Ruben Blades, Gary Busey, and the vibe of this one obviously is very different than Arnold and his group of badasses in the jungle, kind of in a bottleneck. They're stuck there waiting for their pickup and so forth and trying to figure out what's going on. But this movie has a good vibe, man, and I swear you know how sometimes you see a movie or you watch it and you're like, man, it looks really cold there, I feel that cold. This movie is in the dead of summer in LA, and everybody is hot and sweating, and I can smell them, and I can feel the heat in this
How
movie.
many times does
You had
Danny
to go
Glover
there.
have to change his shirt in that movie? It's like
Right?
Yes. I mean, you could feel like just the heat in the city, you know. So
Right. Hey, real quick, and I know Coriander got a
Hey,
laugh
can I
out of
just
this.
say, Killian,
Trenchy-
I wasn't laughing at you.
No,
So don't think,
no.
Trenchy says, of course, Coriander hadn't seen Predator 2. She has a prejudice against sequels. Cough, cough. Texas
No, I
Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Never forget.
just that one. No.
Hey, look, can I say something? I know I'm breaking up the whole thing by doing this. Trenchy, you are
shit.
awesome, man, because he is not letting that go. He is never going to let Coriander forget that she had an issue with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I just had to throw that out there.
And I always say it's okay.
That's right. That's right.
I love it.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I mean, Killian, you're right, man. It was the dead of summer. It was hot. You could feel it. I mean, and for you, Marty, I'll let you just open up, man. I mean, and I know that this is one of your favorite movies, and you talked a lot about that. But what were your thoughts on it, especially coming off of the heels of the original?
The thing is, the Thomas brothers had originally envisaged kind of genre movies that had the Predator would turn up in different types of genre movies. They had an even more elaborate idea of like setting it in the Wild West or setting it during the time of the Mayans or something like that. So what you extensively get with this movie, if you want to break it down or simplify it, the first movie is essentially Commando with an alien coming in from left field. This is Lethal Weapon with an alien coming in from left field. So it's just it's pulp, it's genre. It's got you've got this kind of classical action adventure story, kind of cop drama or action drama, and then out of left field you have this alien hunter coming in, which works really well, and like it opens up so many other avenues to so many other stories, which is why I like it. I think it kicks ass, like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a good point.
It does too. I mean, the gunplay, I mean, it's like a shoot 'em up movie from start to end. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, as soon as the movie starts, man, you know, shit is exploding. People are getting killed. There's a big shootout and everything. So they definitely had a different way of approaching this, because in the first movie, you know, you have that build up, you know, and then the action starts happening with just the fighting, and then the Predator is a part of that movie about halfway in. In this movie, they hit the ground running right off the bat. But one thing I found interesting, and of course I had a couple of factoids that really it was interesting to me. They wanted John McTiernan to come in and direct this, but he wasn't a fan of the script, and he actually opted to direct The Hunt for Red October, which of course, you know, that at least in my opinion anyway, that was a great movie. So it was just interesting how, you know, the script turned him off. It also turned off Arnold, because they were going to have Arnold in the movie too, kind of coming in to play more or less the character that they had Gary Busey playing, kind of the liaison to the group and stuff. So, but Arnold thought that it wasn't going to be as effective as far as the movie taking place in the city. So it was just interesting how this movie kind of, you know, it was trying to make some stuff happen. And, you know, there were all these obstacles that they kept running into. You know, that's what I found pretty damn interesting. And Coriander, just to throw this out at you, they originally weren't going to have Danny Glover starring in the movie. They looked at a couple people, including one of your favorite actors, Steven Seagal.
Mr. Ponytail.
Nice.
Oh God!
Could you imagine that? I mean, seriously.
He would have ruined it. I'm sorry. He would have ruined it.
Oh.
Here we go. All right. Well, look.
I'm sorry, but
I know.
Come on, man. No.
I'm messing.
I can just see the Predator with his ponytail around his neck as a trophy, like, you know.
Yeah. Right.
Hopefully, in like the first scene.
Right.
I'm sorry, Killian. I see you.
No, you know, it's funny. I'm just sitting here thinking of certain scenes, like the scene where Danny Glover is talking to King Willie, and I'm envisioning now Steven Seagal in the alley talking to King Willie. You know, like so what's going on with these guys? It's the voodoo man. It's crazy man. Yeah. Why are you talking like that? Why are you talking like that? Do I gotta fight you? You know,
right? Right. That scene, though.
See, I'd rather see you impersonating him doing it than him doing it.
That's actually a good Seagal fucking impression.
Oh,
right.
It is. He is pretty good at that. But
yeah, I could handle that.
Right. But that scene with King Willie, that was a pretty cool scene in the alley, though, man. Like just the way that they had. Look, here's the thing. I'm going to just say it. I'm going to throw it out there. Obviously, this wasn't the original Predator, okay? But to me, I thought this was pretty good. Pretty darn good, as a matter of fact. You know, it was a shoot 'em up, action-packed movie. They tried to do something different, right? And that, to me, that's almost the most important thing, is they didn't want to do the same old thing, right? They tried to make it different. They tried to thematically trying to say, okay, we're not in the jungle, but we're going to be in the urban jungle. And I got to give them credit for trying to do something different. You know, you had, Danny Glover playing a cop that was, and, he was hard nosed and this and that. And there were some parallels because his unit, his crew, they were all very cool with each other, very loyal, just like Dutch and his team in the first movie. So, I got to give them credit for trying to do something a little bit different, because it would have been easy for them to have another, sequel in the jungle, and, just, how movies back then were, especially for cash grabs. So they did try to do something different. I got to give them credit for that. But I do have a trailer, so I'm going to play the trailer, especially for the people in the chat or in the replay, so they can kind of get a flavor of, what this was all about, just like what we did for the rewatch. So here is Predator 2.
It landed in the world's most forbidding jungle. It came for the thrill of the hunt. Now, it's coming to a different kind of jungle.
Oh! That train scene was awesome.
You don't know what you're dealing with. This time, it's open season on all of us. Danny Glover, Gary Busey, Ruben Blades, María Conchita Alonso, Bill Paxton. Predator 2. Hunting season opens again this Christmas.
Man, they almost announced every member of the cast.
Yes.
John on lighting.
Right.
But for the first one, all you had to just have was Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
that just written.
People come to your movie.
Yes. Right. But look, man, I gotta admit, man, even seeing the trailer, and I enjoyed the rewatch for this, you know what I mean? But even seeing the trailer, I'm like, wow, man, they did okay. I mean, this movie got a lot of crap back in the day, and even to this day is thought of, as the lesser movie in the franchise, and I really don't think it is. I don't think so.
No, it doesn't deserve that rap at all. I mean, people say it's silly, like a silly movie, but like, again, I loved the original. But you had Jesse Ventura bombing around with a gun that's supposed to be mounted on the side of a fucking helicopter, which at best he'd get 2 shots out of. Like, you can't get more ridiculous than that, like,
Right. Kara says, Christmas, really? I didn't remember that. Right?
I know, either.
Right? Yeah, man, they didn't play around. But the cast, I thought the cast was really, really cool, man. And everybody who ever watches this channel, especially me and Coriander did a profile on him, and we've talked about him many times. Bill Paxton. I mean, when you can have Bill Paxton in a movie, it's, for me anyways, as a fan, it just lightens up everything because he always brought this charisma, and it didn't matter.
He does.
It didn't matter if his character was a big character in the movie or just a couple of minutes. He always makes an impression. I mean, seriously. I mean, he was just awesome in this movie. And like I said, this is pretty damn good. I mean, in the box office, we know it didn't do well. I think I got it written down. It was a $20 million budget that they had, and they made 57 million. You know what I mean? So it definitely didn't do the type of numbers that they expected. But again, you know, you're coming off such a great movie. I think that happens a lot with any franchise. And the fact that it was different, it was a different setting. You didn't have anyone from, well, obviously Arnold was the one that survived, but you didn't have any connection to the original movie. So I think it was a tough call. It really, really was. But that being said, it had tons of action. That subway scene.
And the gore was still there. I mean, it was still gory.
Right.
So,
yeah, exactly. Kara says, I have trouble wanting to like this one.
Well, see, and you know what? You know what's so funny? I get that because you know you miss Arnold, you miss the guys. But I will pose this question to all you guys, and this might be a silly question. Mm-hmm. As far as the Predator alien in the first movie versus the Predator alien in the second movie, which one was more of a badass?
Second one. He had more kills. He racked up more kills. He was younger.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was a good point. Plus the other thing too is that this Predator, the thing that was interesting to me, and we haven't talked about too much of the movie itself, but he was stalking Danny Glover. You know what I mean? Like he truly was hunting. I think right in the beginning of the movie when we see the shootout between the two gangs, and obviously Danny Glover goes into action and fucks shit up and shows that he's very capable. To me, anyways, and you guys let me know, especially you, Marty. To me, it was almost like the Predator noticed that and was like, "All right, this one, he's a good target. Let me see what he's gonna do." And throughout the movie,
he'll be a good trophy.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like someone looking over a herd of elk and seeing which is the best buck, which one is the one that's able to scare off the other one and go, this is my guy. This is the one I'm going to get.
Right. Absolutely.
Good
Kara
analogy.
Says,
yeah.
Yeah. Kara says it was a little too different for me. And Arthur says, I have trouble believing you have trouble liking it, Kara. She says, I remember enjoying it as a kid. Maybe I outgrew it. Yeah, maybe. I mean, and that's the thing that's funny too. That's a good point, Kara, because as a kid, I remember having trouble liking this because I had such an affinity for the first one. Like I remember when we watched it, as a kid, and I mean, I thought it was pretty good, but I definitely didn't take on to it like the original. But now, years later, I've reversed and definitely see, a lot of the merit that this movie had. I see it. Yeah, because like I said, I mean, if you're looking for action, a sci-fi action movie, I mean, this has tons, and like you said, Coriander, tons of gore, tons of action. I mean, what can you say? I mean, it's got a lot there and a good cast. Like you were saying, Killian, when you have María Conchita Alonso, she was badass in this movie.
Yeah, she was.
She was badass. So it was cool because, they had these characters, these supporting characters to Danny Glover that really had some interesting dynamics that was different from the first movie. That's the thing that I took away from it, is that they really wanted to do something different from the first movie, and they were fairly successful at it. Arthur says, I think Predator 2 is a near perfect sequel. Oh, Arthur is getting in there. Wow, that's very cool. But listen, I also have one more clip I wanted to play too. This is just the ending scene of Danny Glover after he was able to survive his conflict with the Predator. So let me just play this for you guys. This is just a quick clip, but I liked it. It was just cool, you know, and it with the mythology of the predator, I thought it was awesome. So, all right, here we go. It's like, oh shit. Damn.
Okay. Who's next?
Right. I probably would have felt the same way.
Okay. 1715.
Oh shit.
Now, you know something, that scene, you know, it kind of questions the how long they live, the lifespan. If that pistol is from 1715, and if he has it, and if he took that as a trophy for a kill that he did,
yeah,
that's a pretty lengthy lifespan there.
Yeah, they have a long lifespan.
They have an incredibly long lifespan, and that guy, he was originally called the Golden Angel by the pirate he took the pistol from.
Oh, nice.
It's just, again, as you said, it's a fantastic mythology, and that the bit with them just not they didn't murder Danny Glover out. They were like, you bested one of our guys. Fair is fair. They're tribesmen. They're warriors. They're not xenomorphs. They're not marauding monsters. They have a code, and they stick by that code. And like, there's so many great elements put into them, be it Bushido or the Viking, the kind of Viking element to them. There's just so much put into them. Even in the first movie, the Kevin Peter Hall was a great mime artist and dancer, and he does the Maasai warrior dance where he stretches his hands out and like gets ready to fight. It's just like people kind of brush it off as like some people brush it off silly monster movie. There's a lot put into these creatures, and I think that's why they work so well.
No, that's a good point too, man, because what people do forget sometimes, unless you know the mythology or you read other things or see documentaries, these folks, just like Kevin Peter Hall in the first movie, like you were saying, they don't just put on a mask and just walk around and just kill, and that's it. These are performers, these are actors, these are dancers, these are stuntmen, whatever, and they actually do put something into that. It is a character, even though
it's a personality. Like it's not
exactly.
It's not some blank canvas monster. It's an individual.
Right. And I think that's one thing too about the Predator, even throughout the whole franchise, is that this is an alien that comes to Earth, but it's not, and I think you said this in our Predator review, Killian, it's not that the Predator is evil, or a bad guy or a bad monster. He's there because of the fact that he hunts for sport, but there's a code. He's a warrior from another world, another type of life. And that being said, you had small little glimpses of what that was in the first movie, and now in part 2 you see, a lot more about what these creatures are all about. You know, the fact that they just appeared and they are circling Danny Glover and they're just standing there. And again, when you watch this scene, you know exactly what's going on. And they didn't say it, you know, they didn't say anything except at the end when he said take it. But you know exactly what was going on. There was that show of respect, basically saying, hey, you're basically, you're part of the tribe now. You're honorary member of our tribe because you were able to best one of us. And so we give you that respect. Because sure as hell, they could have killed him really easily. And even Danny Glover, you know, I got to admit, he played it so good because he's just like, all right, who's next? Because he knew he was either going to get killed or.
Oh, yeah, there was no doubt he was going to
get killed.
Yeah, you know, so it was really, really cool. Kara said spa day on that scene. That was too funny. Yeah. And Trenchy says, yeah, they're intelligent, a very fleshed out species. I agree, man. But here's my question, guys. And I know we've gone all over the map, and so I apologize about that. But this movie obviously was trying to go in that different direction and map out a bigger mythology and so forth. What do you guys think as far as how this shaped what was to come in the franchise?
Oh, man. Well, you know, it's funny. You know, just hearing a lot of the lore, Marty, you know, that you were just like laying down, it makes me want to maybe have a movie where it's maybe, you know, on a predator homeworld and they're fighting some other alien. It doesn't have to be a xenomorph, but just maybe some other intelligent species or whatever. But just to kind of see that tribal, you know, vibe of what is a day in the life of a predator.
Like,
you know,
like Apocalypto with Yaucha, as they're called, as they call themselves.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I would just love to see the day-to-day of, you know, them going against maybe an adversary that's as technically advanced as them, you know, and so forth.
Point.
But to answer your question, I think that, you know, and this is just my opinion, I haven't really done a lot of research on this or anything, but it just seems like after this movie, the suits didn't know the trajectory that they wanted. I mean, because you had, like, you know, I remember playing a Predator 2 video game, like, I think on the Sega Genesis back in the day. And obviously comic books were coming out a little bit here and there. So they just didn't really know what they wanted to do or where they wanted to go. Did they want to hopefully get Arnold back somehow or, you know, whatever. And unfortunately, it still kind of shows with, you know, other movies in the franchise, you know, the AVPs or the, you know, Predators, which I know Night we both really loved, and the latest one that Shane Black came back to. But it just seems like this franchise hasn't really made a definitive idea of what they want to do. They've had some good offshoots, like, okay, Robert Rodriguez, you did pretty good with the Predators, and then, you know, instead of going with another sequel for you right off the bat, we kind of turned right. Well, we're gonna try this because Shane Black says he has something. So I don't know. I think this movie just kind of confused them even more. You know, on just like what to do and the trajectory, and it all comes down to money. You know?
Right. Absolutely. I mean, and just to say this, and I know we haven't talked specifically about it, you know, me and Coriander or Killian, but I mean, obviously we're going to talk about the other Predator movies too, hopefully soon. And it is interesting because I think the Predator as a character in movies, as a monster or whatever you want to say, is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And like you just said, Killian, I was just envisioning that, you know, what if the Predator faced off against a species that was more highly advanced than they are? You know, how would that look, you know, on their home world or on another planet, you know, something that is totally fresh and new and visually, you know, just different. I mean, how cool would that have been? You know,
make it like an action movie where like the Predator is the good guy.
The protagonist.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you said, it comes down to money, and I think that they got shy. They got cold feet after Predator 2 wasn't as well received, and I think they were spinning their wheels. They knew they had a great character in the Predator, but they didn't know what to do with it, and that's the thing that really, in a way, is too bad. Kara says the second film was based off the comics, wasn't it? That's a good question. Yeah.
It was based off a comic that came out in '88 called Concrete Jungle, and that was Joel Silver actually asked Dark Horse could he buy the rights to the story. The thing was, one of the original plans before, as you pointed out, before Arnie was going to be brought in as Dutch as an advisor to Danny Glover's character, it was originally going to be, and I thought this was a bit silly because it's the case in the comic. Dutch has a twin brother, an identical twin brother called Rouse Schaefer, who's in the NYPD.
Oh,
and it was going to be set in New York. And they did lift a lot of things. For example, the subway attack is in the comic. The gang warfare element is in the comic. But I don't think they could have done the comic directly because by the end of the story, there's 5 Predator ships hovering over New York, and there's SWAT police and gang members fighting Predators in open warfare in the streets. So I think that would have been too bombastic and ambitious to do. But a lot of the elements from Predator 2 were taken from that Concrete Jungle comic.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, hey, it makes sense to me, man. I mean, like I said, it was a cool story. It was something that very, very different. And one thing for me, and I'll probably do more research about it, but I was just curious because obviously John McTiernan didn't want to do it because of how he saw that the script was not as good. But I'm just wondering, was there anything else with that? Because I think that the idea of it is pretty darn good. So instead of having John McTiernan as the director, they brought in Stephen Hopkins and Killian. He did Nightmare on Elm Street 5, the Dream Child. And when we talked about our Nightmare on Elm Street list, I know Part 5 wasn't very high on Coriander or Killian's list, and it wasn't high on mine either. But he did do some okay movies because he did Blown Away with Tommy Lee Jones and Jeff Bridges, and I personally love that movie.
I love that one.
That's a guilty pleasure for me. So he had done some okay movies, but I just think there was a lot that was against these guys, unfortunately. But it was a good movie. It gave them cold feet. I wish that they could have taken a different trajectory with the franchise because, like I said, the Predator, such an interesting and cool character. We had never seen anything like that up until that point. And
I'm sorry, not to cut you off. I would like to see like the Prometheus treatment done to Predator. Like I want to see the origins of this species, of the first tribe, the first chieftain, or queen. Let's get some history.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I said, man.
I don't know if you'd be interested in this, Killian, but there is a comic called Predator Flesh and Blood, where a predator called Ahab goes after one of the engineers from Prometheus.
What?
He goes after one of the. It turns out they're linked as well. It's I don't know since the Disney merger if it's still. Sugar. Give me 1 minute. It's either Flesh and Blood. Sorry, I've so many of the fucking things. I'm trying to remember all the titles.
Well, we can talk after the show.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Essentially, you have the Predator's nicknamed Ahab because he's going after this big white engineer, which he calls a white whale. It's pretty cool. And again, as you're saying, there's so many other kind of expanded media, but it would be cool to see something like Apocalypto or maybe something like History Channel's Vikings done with Predator. Yeah, something like that,
Well,
you go ahead, Knight.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say because I have always found them very honorable They won't attack you unless you have a weapon, or if they notice, okay, you're an aggressive person. Like, for instance, in this movie, the predator didn't hurt the kid who was playing with a toy gun.
Right.
The predator didn't
or if
do
you're
anything.
pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that. Or if you're pregnant.
Yeah.
So there are boundaries and morals there. The same way that Vikings weren't perfect. I mean, they raided and pillaged, but they still had a code. And I feel that the predators have always had a code, whereas xenomorphs are just crazy insects that want to kill and multiply and will just destroy entire planets. The predators, they're hunters, they're sportsmen. That sounds like humans. We're hunters, we're sportsmen, we kill for fun, for food, whatever. But I would so love to see like the apocalypto treatment. Like, I want to see the softer side of a predator, like trying to just get back home. Essentially, if you guys haven't seen Apocalypto, it's an action movie where this warrior is just trying to get back home to his village, to his wife and child that are in a well, and it's rain season. That's the whole movie. It's the journey. And, it's a father trying to get to his children and get to his wife. I would love to see a predator wrecking shop on an invading alien species. Hell, it could be humans. It could be futuristic humans that come there, and he's somehow outnumbered and has to go against the odds to get back to his loved ones. I think that would be great. I'm sorry. Night, go ahead. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, we've also got Sasha and Brian that are in the chat. Hey, how are you guys doing? I just wanted to say hi to those guys. And Brian says he has not seen Predator 2 yet. You got to see it, man.
Check it out.
You got to see it. So what were you going to say, Marty? Were you going to...
Killian, the idea, like your idea is perfect. And you could work it in. One thing I find with Predator 1 and Predator 2, those films feel like they take place in the same universe, while the latter's not so much. However, Nimrod Antal and Robert Rodriguez's 2010 Predators works in an element that I would like to see, kind of a civil war between one species and another. And maybe, as you said, the apocalypto treatment where like there's genocide. There's like these bigger, meaner predators are wiping out what they consider to be an inferior kind of race.
Right.
And you could work in the prior movies. Hell, you could even, God help me for saying this, you could even work in fucking Shane Black's last movie. You could say that like there's a genocide. You have these upgraded, more tech savvy predators who are like, why are we still doing this kind of old fucking world shit? We should be conquering, not hunting. Like that kind of element.
Yeah, I mean
that sounds great.
I mean that's the thing, man, is that they really, there's a lot of great stories that they could have. I mean, just us talking about this stuff, I'm like, holy crap, man! I want to see it.
20th Century Fox. I hope you guys are listening.
Yeah, right. yeah. But in the chat, let's see. Trenchy says, Brian, you gotta see Predator 2. It's dope. And Sasha says, Coriander, did you watch Predator 2? You said you hadn't seen it.
I did. I watched it today.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
She hadn't seen it before. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Brian says, Martin, would you like to write a Predator script or direct a Predator movie?
I don't think if I was to do a Predator story, like the first 5-minute scene, I'd have the fucking budget blown. It'd be like fucking Predator ships and fucking the Predators coming in riding Queen Aliens as horses and shit like that. It'd just be, I know my limitations, and I know how I know I'm too much invested in this franchise, and I know my imagination would get carried away with me.
But no, that's the passion that this franchise needs. It needs an injection of your passion. If those suits, those soulless suits, had an ounce of the passion that I know you have, dude. Oh man, we would be living it up in beautiful Predator lore, games, spin-offs, movies, Disney Plus movies, whatever.
Well, and that's the thing.
I am looking forward. There is a proposed story, and it's something that should have been done ages ago. We were talking about setting it in different time periods, but I don't know the director of 10 Cloverfield Lane.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Oh,
his idea is to set it in pre-colonial America and have a predator up against a tribe of Sioux warriors, which I would like. Maybe have one of them as Billy's ancestor. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit too silly or a bit too connective. I don't know, but I do like as hard as these things are to kill with contemporary weapons. How do you kill a predator with a bow and arrow and a tomahawk? How hard would that be? Like?
Hey! In the first movie, Arnold proved that you make some traps.
You've got to show intelligence, and also, I mean, it really comes down to, how good of a warrior you are, because the warrior is what's the most important thing, not the weapon that he wields. So that would be, to me, that would be an amazing way for the franchise to go. And I had heard about that too, Marty, and I think I had mentioned that to you guys before. But the thing that's a little concerning for me, now we all know that Fox got bought out by Disney, and so now Disney definitely wants to make money on the properties that it has. And I'm just hoping that somebody in one of those suits looks at this and says, we got to do something good. And I know when they make these movies, they're not sitting there saying, oh, I want to make a crappy movie. I know they want to have it be a good movie, but I think sometimes money gets in the way. I think sometimes they rush things. I think sometimes they try to do things that don't make a lot of sense. And I just hope with this movie, because they're working on it, I just hope with this movie that they take their time and really try to craft something special, because the franchise is just at the edge of the cliff, man. They really, really are. What were you gonna say, Killian?
Here's a question, and I know I'm gonna get shit for this, but I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Disney. They're just like, hey, man, let's Force Awakens this. Man, let's call Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And let's get him to get a ragtag group of like army buddies, and let's just redo the first Predator movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
No, man, I hope.
And let's switch some stuff up. Look, once again, let's Force Awakens this. Desert planet. Jungle, instead of a jungle, maybe let's put them in like the Antarctica or something like that. Let's switch it up, maybe. I don't know, but you got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, big guy. He's a handsome guy, has lots of charisma. You get a crew around him. I'm just saying, this is Disney. This is Disney.
Oh, jeez.
and look, after the Star Wars movies, I don't have a lot of faith in them doing something, like you said, Night, good. They need to do something good.
No, I know.
There's even a mention of it being PG, I'm putting a fucking hit out in that executive. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, they definitely can't do a PG thing, and they've had some missteps. Like Kara had said, Disney ruined John Carter, which is absolutely true. But I mean, I just hope that they respect the material. If they can really respect the material, they should be able to craft something that works. And like we've all been saying, there's so much that you could do with the mythology of the Predator. I mean, and Killian, you said it perfectly. Have the Predator be the protagonist against a more advanced species. Now, and you can still, like you said, Marty, and what we've been talking about, you can still have some of that Civil War aspect with the other types of predators in there too, to make it interesting. But that would be really cool if you had like a solo predator in a situation where he's against a more advanced species, and he's also getting flack from maybe another type of predator. You know what I mean? So he's like got two things going, and it could be really, really cool. It really could. Somehow get somebody to come up with a new monster that's more advanced than the predator. That would be badass, man. It really would.
Or one other, and I hope I'm not talking too much, but one other thing that kind of came to mind was maybe do a dual protagonist type movie where, you have a predator who's stalking humans, but have like a human protagonist and you see stuff from his side of it, but then also see stuff from the Predator side of it, sort of like kind of what they did with like the Planet of the Apes movies, where Woody Harrelson sees it one way, Caesar sees it another way.
Right.
You know,
Good
in
point.
the third Planet of the Apes movie. But you know, I mean, I just think what they have here is something different than what Alien franchise has. You really can't put a personality into a xenomorph.
Right.
They're kind of a one-track mind. They're a shark. They smell blood in the water. They attack. They kill.
Right.
The Predator has a code. The Predator has morals, family structure. You know, hell, Robert Rodriguez even shows us they have dogs. They have hunting predator dogs and whatnot. Right. So I mean, look, if you have a dog, you could do something with a person that has a domestic animal there.
Right.
There's a soul there. There's something that you can cultivate there.
Yeah.
So,
There's a civilization that they have.
There's a civilization and a structure there that you can pull from.
Yeah. That's what Kara said too. Predator is advanced and has a culture. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If the people behind the camera can treat it as such, they could come up with a good movie instead of just having the Predator, you know, be hunting some humans like we've seen on multiple movies. They could really turn it around. I mean, seriously, they could almost reinvigorate the whole franchise if they went from that point of view. I think personally.
Look,
you know what I mean?
just get Andy Serkis in the gym. He got you. You get Andy Serkis in the gym. He's getting buffed. You know, put him in the suit, or if you have some good CGI,
right?
You know, Andy will take the rest, and there you go.
Right. You know, but anyways, guys, so Predator 2 doesn't get a lot of credit. I thought it was really good. These guys, you thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's definitely not the first movie, but I think that they did some really good things. It has a great cast, and of course, you got Bill Paxton. I mean, and remember, Bill Paxton, and I know you love him, Coriander, but Bill Paxton, he got killed by a predator, he got killed by an alien, and he got killed by a Terminator.
Ooh,
yeah,
wow!
Man. Nice.
Remember that.
People that argue Lance Henriksen would be the same, but yeah, technically he was only deactivated by the Queen Alien. He wasn't killed by the Queen Alien.
That is true.
I like that. That's awesome. All right, guys. So anyways, thank you guys for doing this Predator 2 chat. And Marty, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks a million for having us, guys. It was awesome.
Yeah,
and you're awesome, man.
Yeah, man, and we appreciate you bringing your passion to it and stuff. And we are going to talk about the other Predator movies. So the invitation is definitely open.
Oh,
you know,
I'll be there. Hopefully, I can keep my fucking mouth shut long enough.
No, man. Come on, man. No, you did great. But for you guys in the chat, and we thank you guys in the chat for hanging out with us and so forth. You know, all the support, we appreciate it. We're at 598 subscribers, guys. I can't believe it. We're almost at 600. It's crazy, but we appreciate everyone's support and love. So I also wanted to say for everyone watching this in the chat or on replay, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and stuff like that.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And everyone be safe. But as usual, as I usually say, for you guys, definitely try to leave us a comment in the comment section. Please give the video a like. Please, if you can, share it on your social media and so forth, because it'll really help us to continue to grow and stuff. So anyways, we'll catch you guys later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out. Rest in peace. Bill Paxton. Later.
Peace.
Up church.